It's your girl, Desert Dragonfly, and you're on my channel, The Empath Warrior Queen. And I think this is going. I started doing the story time and tarot. One, just because I was just trying to break the ice and get myself out here, get my YouTube showing, and also I was working through a lot of heart armor that I have developed over the years. Because I've been dealing with spiritual warfare almost all my life, okay? Literally almost all my life, okay? So, I don't know if anyone ever saw or watched any of them. I was raised a Jehovah's Witness. I have, both sides of my family. I still have a lot of family members that are in it. I have some disfellowshipped family members, and I am disfellowshipped. And this is the second time I have been disfellowshipped, and I will remain disfellowshipped, and I will never return to that organization ever again. Okay? And first of all, I just want to say I had an amazing childhood. For the most part, I've had a lot of happy times. My parents are awesome. My childhood, for the most part, was awesome. However, it was when I got baptized is when I started really getting this spiritual warfare. Okay, experiencing this spiritual warfare with them. Okay, it was very shortly right afterwards, because leading up to it, the reason why I got baptized is because I wanted to be protected to spirit, and I wanted to get closer to spirit. That is why I felt called to be baptized. Okay, so that is why I did it. And a lot of people misunderstood this about me. They made it seem like I was being, I wanted attention, that I wanted attention, and all this other stuff, or whatever. But it's just really weird how, responsibility, or, they put a lot of responsibility on somebody once they get baptized. Even, considering the age that they do get baptized. I was 11, okay? So that alone, I'm kind of young and inexperienced in a lot of things already. So I'm going to do a lot of immature things. And I remember, literally immediately, I think it was maybe 1 or 2 weeks of me after being baptized. I don't know if anyone has gone to the meetings. In the meeting, there's 2 different schools. There's a theoretic school, and then they sometimes, depending on the size of the congregation, they would split to an A or B. You know what I mean? This is where you would practice, your research and the scriptures or the topics if you're going out in service, or any kind of you do your research, and then you would perform it in front of the congregation, and then they would grade you on it and everything like that. So they would split it up into 2 different, A and B school. So I was in a big congregation where they did split that. So I always went to the back, because the meetings were so long that sometimes you would want to do that just to break up, So I was with my friend, and we were listening to the scriptures and stuff. We were listening to the talk or whatever. And I think the brother, and her and I were kind of I don't know what we were doing, but we were kind of talking. You know how if you're in the 90s, you would do these things. We send these letters where you would write. It would be a 1 letter, and you would write a word, or basically have a whole conversation, back and forth on the same paper. And I think we were kind of doing that. I'm not sure exactly, but all I remember is that we found something funny that the brother did or something like that, and we were just dying laughing. We couldn't control it. It was just at first we were laughing about what happened in the talk, or the way the brother said something, because that's how I'm weird like that. If someone says something in a weird inflection, as I'm speaking messed up right now, or whatever, or say a weird tone or a weird aneurysm or something, if it's I'll just point it out and start dying laughing. And she and I had the same kind of like humor. So I think once we started laughing about that, and then it just kind of like, you know, because we were kids, like, it just went into like not based on the talk. So this sister was like, you guys know better. You should not be deaf. Da, da, da. And it's like, and Desiree, you're baptized. I'm just like, okay, so. There's a lot of worse, immature crap that adults do, okay? So that is one. And then after that, what led up to me getting like baptized, disfellowshipped for the first time, was because I was a young teenager. I think I was like 14 or something like that at the time. I think I was very rebellious at that age because, like I said, like they put a lot of responsibility like the minute you get baptized. So I think it was just like I was constantly like, because I've always been free spirited. I've always been kind of into astrology and like how to keep it on the DL. Like there was a lot of interest in stuff like that. I've always operated. I've always had a high level of consciousness. Okay, at a very young age. All right, and I share this with my grandmother too. So I've always had a high level of consciousness spiritually. So like I was interested in certain things, like, you know, and understood certain things, you know what I mean? So, but because of this religion, because the way, like, these things are considered horrible or Satan or anything like that, so, of course, like, I couldn't speak freely about it, or I didn't even dabble in it, or didn't expose, or didn't invest in my gifts because, you know, I knew the whiplash of what I would get. And but anyway, so, but this had nothing to do with that. I was just a hormonal teenager, and I wanted to have my first kiss and experience and all that stuff. But the problem is, I've had a friend, and now that I look back on it, she's always been kind of jealous of me. Like, I do feel like she loves me, and like there was a sincere friendship in that, and I do love her. But however, she was definitely a karmic. She was definitely a lesson learned for me it was a very hard lesson, like someone that I loved and considered as my sister, like that was so jealous of me, and I didn't understand why, you know. And anyway, I don't even want to dabble much into her, but yeah, she was kind of involved. But now that I look back on it, she was dating somebody else in the congregation. So she wanted to go do some scandalous stuff to get him jealous. And then she went and told him. So then he all went and told the elders. Meanwhile, let's fast forward. This brother, this boy man, is in a porno. And now he has a cleaning business. I wonder how he got that startup. See, that's the thing. There's a lot of hypocrisy. All right, there's a lot of people doing things under the, like, acting like one way and doing another thing, and then they want to target people like me, okay? Because I've always been a vivacious girl. I've always spoke my mind. I've always been my truth, like, you know what I mean? And I have big tits. I have big lips, you know what I mean? I was an easy target. You know what I mean? To target with these things to cover up what they were doing. And that's what they would do. They would target people, they would do things, and then they would use other people to cover their shit. And then those people would get in trouble and disfellowshipped and be labeled as bad association and all this other stupid crap, okay? Whew. And yeah, and then after that, so that happened, you know, I took the heat, you know what I mean? I took the consequence, you know, I was like, my bad, like, I should have known better, you know, and all this other stuff, and I got reinstated, you know what I mean? I was young, you know, at that point, whatever. I got reinstated, and ever since then, it was kind of weird. Like, some people were like, oh, wow, like, I worked, like, you know, I read the Bible, cover to cover like 4 or 5 times. Like, I kind of haven't read it recently, but I'm very thorough in what the Bible is and what it represents and everything. Like, you know what I mean? I'm not going to sit here. I'm not going to allow anyone at this point. Because I remember one time my sister recently, she was telling me, she's like, I know because it's actively in my brain. Honey bunches of oats. Listen. I know. I'll wait until you get burned. I will wait. Anyway, now we're going into where I'm an adult, okay? I've had my ups and downs, with the organization still. Like, I kind of like just kept my head down, you know, at this point. We moved to a different congregation, which was even worse than the congregation that I was raised in. It was like, I couldn't even really connect to anybody. And then, like, I was at that dating age, and, like, people were just on the fence with me, like, you know, because I was in that dating age. And then that's what pushed me to start dating, like, normal, regular guys. Like, you know what I mean? And, like, you know, so I just started dating normal, regular guys, like, not, like, you know, worldly men, as they put it. You know, because, like, let's be real, a lot of these Jehovah's Witnesses they want someone to control, and I'm sorry, I'm not a woman you can control. I'm not. Never will, never can be, okay? I'm either your teammate or nothing else, because I just can't be controlled. I will refuse to be controlled, and that's basically what they teach you to be. They teach you to be this little meek, submissive woman, and which is not bad, because, like, as I consider myself an alpha female, whatever, I don't consider it. I was told it, and I accept it, and I realize it's whatever. I'm whatever. I will be submissive to my man, all right? If my man has a mission and I understand it and it's clear to me, I would be submissive to my man all day. But anyway, yeah, like, I just was not interested in dating or marrying any, like, man from this religion. Like, it was just no thank you, sir. And it's really funny because, like, alright, so I was also trying to get out of, like, Connecticut, and I worked really hard, and I was trying to get out of this religion and get out of my atmosphere, and I worked really hard, my butt off, to graduate high school. Not only to graduate high school, but to get a certificate, a partial scholarship to the Culinary Institute of America, and I was accepted. Alright, I worked my butt off. Alright, but because these people don't want you, they don't advise secular, you know, whatever, because I would have to live in a dorm and all this other stuff. Even though I had a plan of having an apartment outside, I had resources, I had numbers I can call, but because, like, my mother got burned from my sister, like, financially, and because also of the religion aspect, my mom was just not down for it. And then it was just really hard for me to prove that I could do it on my own, because I was only like 19, 20 at the time. So that's what really put me into a spiral of depression and really made me hate. I had a lot of resentment towards this religion, because I really wanted to have this happen. I was speaking out to people, like, because I know a lot of people who have gone to school, and they spoke out and they reached out and they were able to, you know, stay with his sister and go to school or something like that. So that's what I was kind of trying to do. I was just trying to find a network so that I can make this happen without my mother. Like, you know what I mean? This is my community. These are my people, right? They should be able to help me, right? I should find something. I know I was going to get some kind of whiplash. And I did. I had, like, this sister, because I just moved into this congregation, and I was just trying to get into my network. And then I had this sister who just, like, screamed at me of how going to college out of state and living in a dorm is horrible, and this and that would happen, and this and that and the third, and this whatever, 4 and 14, 44. She just, like, went off at me. And I remember, like, the other sister, she was like, you don't even know this lady, like, why are you yelling at her? Like, like she just like went in on me, and like I feel like this sister kind of knew of my family anyway and kind of prejudged me. And this is a thing too, like for some reason, like these people like just did not like my father. Were so rude to my father, like, and that's another reason why I don't like, I'm not gonna say this organization, but most organizations. Like, these people, you're dealing with the public here, and you're dealing with people that have a lot of undiagnosed learning disabilities. You're dealing with people that, didn't have the same like educational, opportunities as some of these elders who are white rich men, okay? And they're sitting there trying to like act like they're helping, but all they do is ridicule and made fun of my father. You know what I mean? All the time. Like, all the time they made fun of my father. All the time. And like, he finally is now getting the accolades he deserves, which I'm freaking happy about. And they also had my dad so warped where he turned against me and my older sister at one point, as I'll get into it. So yeah, she reamed into me, and that's what really began to my resentment towards this religion. And it's just like I felt extremely alone, and just completely misunderstood. And like, I just, yeah. And anyway, so then after that, like I said, I was in the dating age where you are supposed to like pretty much get married at that point. I was trying to get over my depression, trying to get over my resentment, and I'm trying to be like, you know what, this has nothing to do with these people. And I'm here for God. You know what I mean? Despite anything that happens, like, I've always, like, I need to make my relationship right with God. It wasn't like I wasn't trying to go back to like make friends or anything. I was just trying to get back with my relationship with God, because they really make you feel like they're the ticket to spirit, they're the ticket to heaven and all this other, or the paradise and all this other stupid stuff. But anyway, so I was just trying to make my relationship right with Jehovah, with God. And I went out in service with this sister who is awesome. I love her. She was very, very mystical herself, even though she probably won't want me to say that about her. You know what I mean? So that's why I wanted to go out and serve with her. I connect to a lot of people who are like that. There's like that's the whole thing. Like, there's a lot of light workers, there's a lot of mystics out there that they keep it on the DL, and they know how to keep their business themselves. Keep their business to themselves. So, and then there was a sister and her 2 kids. Her son was the same age as me, and her sister was like a little bit younger, his sister, whatever. So we're about to get into the car, right? And this sister was like really upset that, sorry, this is gonna be a long one, guys. This sister got like really upset that like we were gonna sit next to each other in the car. Okay, she got like she was like, because I was like, we're trying to get, I'm like waiting to get in the car, and there's all this commotion and whatever, and I'm thinking like, what is going on? Why are we not getting in the car? Like what is, like, I'm here for service. I'm here to go on service. I want to talk to you guys about the scriptures, and I just want to go door to door, because we're about to do some like night at homes or whatever. And yeah, she was just like really upset that we were gonna sit next to each other. So then I had to sit by myself in the back seat, right? Or something, I forgot what it was. And then we go to the door, and they're like, oh, why don't you and him go to door? And I was like, what? I was so confused, because to me that is more intimate than me sitting next to him in the car. Okay, like me being, that's like more alone time, more personal, like more freedom to talk whatever about we want without you having the ears in, you know what I mean, without you right there supervising us. I just felt so uncomfortable. And like that's the thing, like, so I did it, whatever, and then like the minute we got back to like we're about to do some telephone territory after that, and I was like, I gotta go. And like the other's like, yeah, I don't blame you. Okay? Like, it was just like, this is like the norm that would happen to me on a daily basis. On a daily basis with these people. Like, I was constantly a target. Like, I was like this vivacious woman, or this Jezebel, or this bad association. And I was just like tired. I was like tired of these people constantly making me feel bad about myself for me just being me, dude. Me just being me, okay? And like, in the meantime, I've always been kind of like, so, but that's why, like, I fell in love with tarot again, because I've always had this evangelist spirit in me. I've always had this knowledge inside of me to share. I've always, and then, like, believe it or not, a lot of these images that are in these tarot cards are from the Bible, and a lot of it are from the books that, like, the Revelation book. If anyone's read the Revelation book by the Jehovah's Witnesses, a lot of these images are from there. Okay? So, and that's another thing too. Like, I've always, like, I was always kind of secretly a rebeller too. Like, they didn't want you to watch like Harry Potter, and like I even have a cousin now that won't allow her daughter to watch any Disney videos because of like the mysticism and like whatever, and the witchcraft. And it's like, do you not understand how much witchcraft is in the Bible? Like, the Bible is like basically a spell book, okay? Okay? You know, and like that's why, like, I love tarot, because it's like it confirms so many things about my life. It confirms so many things about me. Like, I'm gonna link some readings that really like hit home. So if you were raised a Jehovah's Witness, and like most of you likely you were a light worker and were targeted, you know what I mean? Because if you didn't fit the mold, you most likely did not succeed. And or if you were hitting a level of spiritual consciousness that they didn't want for you to ruin just, they had to protect you, remove you to protect the congregation from bullshit like that. Yeah, I'm gonna link in some of these readings to help you just to confirm some shit, okay? And that's why I fell in love with her. It confirmed so many things about me, and it made me realize why I went through so many things, and why, because it's like, when you're a spiritual teacher, when you go through stuff like this, okay? And but yeah, so I just like, I just didn't understand why we couldn't watch Harry Potter. So I kind of rebelled in that. I brought it to one of like the gatherings, just because I wanted to test. I wanted to see what they were going to do, which was probably bad. I probably made my dad look bad there too. So I feel so bad for my dad. We were such willful children, and you know, there's nothing stronger than your free will. So yeah. So yeah, I just like, and like, I watched all those movies. I read that book. I know there's a lot of witnesses that have read that book like themselves. So, but anyway, so now when I hit like 22, 23, after that incident with the whole woman getting upset with me sitting next to her son in the car, acting like we're gonna have sex if we sit next to each other in the car, I got pregnant. I reconnected somebody. Like, it was just so really weird. 'Cause I kind of like, because there's certain downloads that I received about myself. Like, when I was 16, 17, I knew I was going to be a single mother. And then I kind of knew who I was going to have kids by, and I have a kid by him. And, yeah. So, it's just, like, really weird. That's why I was kind of excited to reconnect with him, because I kind of, whatever. We're not going to get into that right there. So I, because I was like done. I was like, I'm done with these people, this sect, whatever. I'm gonna live my own life. I'm gonna do me. I was gonna go. I wanted to get a job in the culinary field, because I've always wanted to be a chef. I wanted to get a job in the culinary field. I did. I had this whole plan and route for myself, but then I ended up getting pregnant, which like halted a lot of things for me. But it was like weird, because it was like I even said a prayer. I was like, Lord, I need you to help me, because I know at this point, because like I told you, like, these people have left me. These people have made me feel like an outsider. But you know what? I've always felt connected to the Lord. I always felt connected to Jehovah. And He never left me. He never abandoned me throughout this whole entire process. This whole entire time, I've always had the Lord Jehovah with me. I've always had Christ with me. I've always had my ancestors with me. I've always had my guides with me, protecting me, okay? So I was just like, I need you to help me, or whatever. I don't want to go back to these people. And I feel like, oh really, you don't want to go back? So I think that's why they had me got pregnant. So that, because they disfellowshipped me. And it was just like so crazy. Like, they, like, when I was in the meeting for them to disfellowship me when I was pregnant, first of all, I was inactive for like 4 or 5 years, okay? So I didn't really need to be disfellowshipped in the first place. I was inactive for that long, okay? So I basically disassociated myself, okay? I haven't, whatever. So, but of course, like, my father went and told on me. He didn't give me much time to get myself together, because there was a whole process I wanted to do. I wanted to build up my case. I wanted to defend myself, because I wanted to prove that they had no right to disfellowship me in the first place. So he blindsided me, and I had to go do that. And like, the questions that they asked me, they wanted to know what time, they wanted to know when would stuff, like, I don't know, dude. I just was going with the flow of life. I wasn't keeping what dates I was having sex. I was just, I got drunk that day and I met him up and I just had sex. It wasn't like I planned it. And like, that's what they were trying to make it seem. They were trying to make it seem like I planned this pregnancy, like I planned to do this, I planned to do that. Like, no, I did not. Yeah, did not plan it. And like, I remember like the look of this brother's face, okay? He was just like looking at me like, oh, this Jezebel, this heathen. Like, it was just like, it was just like weird how he was like looking at me. And this was the guy that was really close to my father. And then there was only one brother that was not being like a creep and was not being like a jerk. And the dude died, okay? He died, he got like leukemia, and he died. And I was like, well, that is just weird, because that's just lost my motivation to get reinstated. And sorry, excuse me. Yeah, so he died. And then after that, though, I was still trying to get reinstated, because, I want, especially when you become a mother, like, you start thinking about society. And then, like, even, like, my aunt, who is disfellowshipped too, she no longer hates this religion. And she was just like, you have choices. And, like, even she was, like, not really, like, keen about me being a single mother. And, which is whatever, which is understandable. It's like religion and, like, 3D standards. Like, she was really like, she went from, like, totally throwing her spirituality to the side and basically going by what society tells you what to do. So it's like, whatever. Like, whatever. So, like, I dealt with that, and, like, I was trying to go back because, like, I needed to have the support with my family, and I knew, like, that would be the only way to do it, is to, like, go back and play the part, although I couldn't. And I don't think Spirit was like, oh no. And then that's when I met my daughter's father, my second daughter's father. I met her at work. Met him at work. And then, she's my baby of change. She was born May 5th, 2015, 555. And I think because of her, like, she's so much like me. It's like, not even funny. And she's the same life path number as me. I'm on life path 9. Yeah. So yeah, and like I said, like, I'm not going back because, like, we're always trying to go. I always felt like they were trying to go against me, or they were trying to keep me down. They didn't want me to reach a certain spiritual level. And, like, yeah, so I'm just done with that. And this is where I fit in. This is where, like, I could be myself. I can, like, I can wear, like, weird jewelry, and I can, I can astroplane, and you know what I mean? It's just, like, I'm just so much happier, like, now that I know what I am, now that I know, like, what I'm capable of. It's just, like, crazy. And, like, I don't care if this video offends anybody. Like, I don't care, because news flash. You haven't been in my life in the past 7 years. So what makes any different that you're not in my life any more longer? Like, family member or friends. Like the whole COVID happened, nobody reached out to me from the congregation. Not even my sister reached out to me. You know what I mean? They say, like, even though your family member is disfellowshipped or whatever, during certain crisis or times, you should reach out to them. Did she reach out to me? No. Like, the ball is more in her court. But, like, I remember, like, my younger sister, me and her, like, she's always been kind of, like, weird with me. Like, I remember one time she was like, I wish I could talk to you and stick up for myself the way that you do, and I wish I could do this like how you do. And I'm like, well, you can, like, whatever. I'm done with it. I'm connecting with my warrior queen ancestor, and I'm just doing, I feel like I'm finally on the right path of what I'm supposed to be doing. Whew. So yeah. So that, I hope I made sense. I hope I didn't ramble. But yeah, like, that's another reason why I love tarot. Like, it confirmed a lot of things for me. It also helped me recognize where my my abandonment issues came from, because I thought my abandonment issues came from me becoming a single mother, but actually my abandonment issues stemmed from all the way from childhood, from when my mother got sick. My mother had Guillain-Barré, and it's so weird. Like, I remember that day. I remember that day of her banging in the bathroom. Like, I remember waking up to going, like, she was like, help! Like, she, like, I know what's funny, but my mom literally fell down in the bathroom, taking a shower, and she could not get up. And I remember her, like, banging, crying, like, banging, crying, and, like, I woke up. I don't know where I was or what room I was sleeping in, because me and my sisters bunked with each other with a lot. I remember waking up and, like, my dad was already there. He's like, no, Desiree, your mom is not, she's exposed, like, don't go in there. And I was like, okay. And then, like, he covered her up, and, like, I didn't go in there. I just sat on the stairs, because, like, that was the only place where I felt okay to sit. And, like, I was just like, what's going on? Like, I just knew something was happening. And it's so weird. It happened, like, right after I got baptized too. I was like, yeah, it happened, like, when I was like 12 and I was like 11. I think I recently got baptized, and then it happened. So I think that's probably why I felt called to get baptized. But anyway, she was banging on the floor, crying, and then my dad, he went to go get my cousin, because my grandmother and my cousin lived with me at the time, lived with us. And so they kind of, like, got her onto a sheet and, like, kind of had to pick her up that way and put her, and then they called the ambulance. And I remember just, like, watching her be taken away in the ambulance. Like, that was so scary. Like, I'm sorry. And, like, she didn't come home like 2 years later, maybe a year and a half. It took them 6 to 9 months to even give her a diagnosis. And, like, whew, man, that's why I was so attached to my parents too for so long. And, like, when I got disfellowship, I was so scared to, like, lose that relationship with them, because, like, my mom is still alive. But I was just like, and I felt so bad, you know, getting disfellowship and doing what I do, because, like, they didn't have it easy in the religion. And, like, that was actually the one time the religion was actually there for us, like, you know what I mean? So I feel like that's why they feel so obligated. And, like, I am grateful that for a lot of brothers and sisters that were there for us at that time, you know what I mean? Like, I don't have anything against, like, the brothers and sisters, because there's a lot of amazing people, you know what I mean? And I just don't like the lifestyle that they force on you. I don't like how invasive that they are in your lifestyle. And I'm sorry, like, the family unit, like, the family unit is such a sacred unit, and it's like they invade that, you know what I'm saying? Like, they invade that. A lot of religions invade that, like, you know what I mean? A lot of people, I know I'm not trying to get, like, into race here, and I know, like, a lot of the black culture has been targeted, but it's a lot of families, a lot of the family households have been attacked, you know what I mean, by religion. Like, I feel like it comes from religion, and it's just more targeted, like, towards them now in society way. But as far as religion, like, the family unit has been attacked. Like, they have, you know, like, my father turned me in. Like, they have, you know what I mean? Like, it's just like they have, like, they don't allow you to think for yourself. They get you so far away from your intuition. They get you so far away from your divinity. Like, the rules that they have and the lifestyle that they try to make you live. Like, I just can't go through that. And I can't go, like, I don't want my children to be so scared to do anything wrong, you know what I mean, or constantly be watched by people and having them be targeted like how I was targeted. You know, I don't want them to go through that. I want them to like recognize that they're rainbow children. I want them to recognize that they are mystical. I want them to know that they can use these gifts and change the world. Like, you know what I mean? Because I like so much time has been robbed from me. So much, but it's not going to happen anymore. It's not going to happen anymore. So like whatever. So like I said, like if you're offended by this video, then something I'm saying is triggering and is true. And like I said, I want to make this video because I know there's a lot of disfellowship people out there that feel the same way as I do, have been experiencing the same things that I've experienced. And like, you guys are light workers. You guys were targeted to not level to a certain level of consciousness on purpose. Okay? It's like ridiculous. Whew. So, as far as these cards that I got here, so what I got here is the Seven of Pentacles, the Strength in reverse, the Four of Cups, the Knight of Pentacles, the High Priestess, and the Ace reverse. So with that, I'm seeing is someone is really trying to have their seeds come into fruition here. They don't want to be overlooked. They don't want to like this person doesn't want their blessing to be taken away from them. However, being so worried about that is keeping you, it's taking your strength from you. It's affecting your vitality here, physically, mentally, and spiritually. It's like I feel like you're so scared of being rejected. I think you're so scared of you not being recognized for what you're worth, that it is affecting you physically. You might be very tired, might be having a lot of headaches, and there's this type of speed that you want to go, but unfortunately it's going to take time. Is going to take time here, and you're going to have to trust your intuition here. And I feel like there's certain things not being exposed to you at this time, because I feel like because you're so fixated on the outcome here, that if you knew everything, you would basically self-sabotage yourself. Because alright, so I did a couple of channel messages. I did one where there's like love and like light, like basically love, and then I have one where it's about like financial. And with the financial, I got here is fast cash, quick communication, opportunities are there even if you do not see it, solid investment, I make a way for myself and spirit helps me. Spirit pays your salary. Your passions will turn into, your passion will make you rich. Okay? So I feel like whatever you are not seeing right now is because spirit doesn't want you to, because they don't want you to self-sabotage yourself. And clearly there's some money coming in. So if you're worried about paying bills, if there's, cause like I feel like there's a type of speed you're trying to get at, and you might be not be able to get it, but clearly there's some kind of cash coming in for you. And then with the love situation over here, I got Heartbreak Hotel. Good head. I think this is you. Good head on your shoulders. Moving on to something better. Yeah, he or she is cheating, lying and cheating. Sad to let go, but forced to move on. Happy all the ways, all the way. So I feel like because you have a good heart on your shoulders, you're moving on. You're sad that you had to let this person go. You're realizing this person was a fake, a Decepticon. And that's another thing. Sorry to go back. I do want to get back to this message here. But it's not just tarot that has actually helped me out. There's a lot of speakers like Ralph Smart, Tenorist Henderson. He also goes as Tenorist Genius on his. I'm sorry if I'm saying this wrong. I'm sorry, big bro. I'm sorry. I'm actually gonna get his YouTube thing that he does. But anyway, yeah, those people too have really. And there's also a couple ladies that they just speak prophetic words. Like those people, like that's where I get my spiritual food from now, because it's just like authentic and real and present, and I'm more about the religion of love now. So anyway, so for the oracle cards we have the number 17. I forget what this guy's name is, but like this eagle is very significant to me. So like I said, whoever you are, if you're following me, you're most like a light worker and you operate at a high level of consciousness here. And I feel like that's what that eagle represents, the level of consciousness that we're at. We're eagles, dude. And then we have rise to the occasion. Alright, so this guy and this girl. Alright, so we're going to go into the number 17. And I will read you a miracle. You have access to power and wisdom beyond human understanding. Ask, wait, and listen. Keywords: miracle, divine will, faith, earthly manifestations of the sacred, messages, answers, time, winter. Alright. So you clearly have insight and wisdom, and that's probably why you're just so, like, you probably can see the outcome. That's probably why you're fixated at the outcome so much, you know. But instead of like not being instead of focusing that it's not here yet, your outcome is not here yet, maybe you just need to focus on the feeling of it. Like, even though it's not here, you already kind of have it, and that's the secret to manifestation. So maybe you just need to focus on that it's already here in your life, instead of thinking that it's not here. That's what I'm getting. And then we have rise to the occasion. I think she's over here somewhere. Whatever. I'm going to go into table contents. Lord. You may have to take a leap of faith. You may have to take a leap in your consciousness to prepare for coming special initiations and challenges. Preparation is necessary and cannot be avoided. Step in your energies is the best way to perceive, benefit, and utilize the experience. So yeah, like I said, I feel like you, whoever this person is, you're manifesting something, and I feel like you're so fixated on the outcome that you're upset of all the delays. You're more focusing on the delays, you know what I mean? Because you're not seeing any opportunities here. But like I said here, there are opportunities here. Like, even though you don't see it, like there are things working out for you behind the scenes, even if you don't see it. Like, and stop worrying about what you're trying to do. Whatever you're doing, it is a solid investment here. And spirit is, most importantly, spirit is going to pay your salary. So don't worry about the money coming in. Don't worry about how much money you're going to be making, because it's going to be coming in. And you need to focus more on your passion here, because that is where you're going to make your money. And you need to do more research in what you're doing. Maybe you need to do more meditating and let spirit give you the answers of what you're supposed to do here. And you know, you made the right choice by letting go whoever was cheating on you, and you're moving on to something better here. So, like, you know, that's probably what's gotten you a little bit in the funk. I feel you just probably want to feel better from whatever heartbreak you're going through and your love situation. So you're trying to like really focus on your finances and trying to make your finances like more successful here. And I feel like you want, I feel like you want to make a lot of money, so you're surrounded by different type of individuals, because I feel like you do want to have somebody that's more on your level spiritually and like, you know, financially. So I think that's what it is. I think you're more fixated on the, you know what I mean, and it's like I said, it's affecting your health here. And I think you need to take the time to drink some water, eat healthy, go on a fast, you know what I mean? Maybe like do some exercise here. I really want to get into Tai Chi, like really bad. I've always have. Because it's meditation with movement, and I feel like that would help me out. But anyway, so yeah, I think doing more research in whatever your passion is here is what's going to make you more calm and not make you focus on in the outcome here. Because I feel like whoever this person is, in my collective, you might be more fixated on I'm sorry, I'm just led to read this. Money investments are coming in due time. Anxiety will make the wait worse or longer. So yes, your anxiety, your worry is making things more delayed here. So act like you already have it, okay? You already have what you are asking for. You already have it, okay? You already have it. You know what I mean? Let's say your bank is negative right now. So how are you going to act like you have it? You know what you can do? You can like look at what you do have. Do you have a car? Okay? Do you have family members that you can help out, that can help you out and like give you some gas money? You know what I mean? You can go do DoorDash right now or something like that. Like, you know what I mean? There's ways you can make money. There's ways to make you feel rich. You can remember that you have your ancestors. You have your guides. Not a lot of people have that. Not a lot of people are woke enough to realize that they have these guides, that they are like backed by spirit. You know what I mean? That's wealth. Not everything, how do I say this? There's different type of currency. Not everything is material. So you may not be wealthy in the physical sense, but you most likely are wealthy in the spiritual sense. Clearly you are, based on what I see here. You are clearly wealthy in the spiritual sense. So unfortunately, not a lot of people understand this or will accept it. Spiritual wealth trumps physical wealth. So yeah, I'm gonna go because this is a long ass video. I didn't think it was gonna be out about an hour. So if you made it this far, thank you. like and subscribe. I might not do more. I probably will do some more story times and reads, but this is going to be the last about like my background about those people, because I don't want to focus on those people anymore. I want to move on with my life. All right, thank you guys, and stay tuned for more on my channel.